have some drinks. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, did everybody have a good Valentine's Day? Yeah. Anybody do anything cute? Super cute? Just woo. I mean, I think that's the best we can do. You did something cute, woo. Woo! Alright, so people did some cute stuff. That's cool. The guy I'm dating was super cute. He made me some heart-shaped pancakes for dinner because I love pancakes for dinner. It was really cute. And he dyed them pink, and we like sipped some pink champagne, and it was really romantic. So then things got really slutty really fast. You know what? The thing is, if I were to call my mom and tell her about the heart-shaped pancakes, that's where her mind would go. She would think about sex because she automatically assumes that every guy I date is a scumbag and that they have like bad intentions. So I'd probably tell her about the heart-shaped pancakes. She'd be like, heart-shaped pancakes, huh? You know, the top of a heart looks an awful lot like a pair of tits. Do you ever think about that? You think maybe he's trying to tell you something? It's like she's always just thought that about guys. I don't even think it's the guy's fault. I think my mom just thinks I'm a slut and that I'm into that, you know what I mean? She's like always thought I was a slut since like age 6. And like, I think I know why. When I was in kindergarten, there was a kid in my class named Josh who had autism. And he got picked on a lot and he had trouble in school. So apparently I like befriended him and like stood up for him and like helped him out and stuff. So everybody thought it was just like so cute and nice. And, like my mom would call her friends and be like, Meredith is friends with the special needs boy. Isn't that special? She's just so special. We love her so much. So apparently one day I came home from school and my mom was like, how are you? How was school? And I said, good. And then she was like, are you still friends with Josh? Are you still helping him out? And I said, yeah, I'm still helping him out. She said, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I'm so proud of you. What'd you guys do in school today? And I said, well, Josh and I, we finger painted, and we counted blocks, and we played horses, and we had sex. And my mom was like, what? I was like, yeah, you know, we had sex. And then it was nap time, so we did nap. And of course my mom flipped out. She like called my dad, she called my teacher, she called Josh's mom. She said, what is going on with my daughter? And then finally she just came up to me, which is what she should have done in the first place, and she said, no, sweetie, what did you mean when you said sex earlier? And I said, and this is apparently exactly what I told her. I told her that sex is when two people go up to a beautiful flower or star and agree that it is indeed important. That's what sex was. So any other person would hear that and say, okay, cool, she's been misinformed. It's a misunderstanding, not a big deal, we'll move on. But no, my mom was like, dude, my daughter's into some fucked up shit. Keep an eye on her. And she did, for the rest of my life. It was, I don't want you hanging out with that boy. I don't want that boy going near your room. Don't show that boy that scar on your knee. It looks like a tit. It's going to give him ideas. It's like, that's how it was forever. And she just took a step back to assess the situation. She would realize that, like, I was a nerd and a loser, and I wasn't going to get laid for years. For a really long time. It's like I had like a unibrow, like a full-blown mustache like a man. My haircut was terrible, I looked like a penis. And it's like, you know, nothing about me looked attractive or cool. I smiled like this to try and cover my crooked teeth. You know what I mean? It was a big deal. I'm not getting laid, Mom, I'm not getting laid. Like I wore penguin shirts all the time. I love penguins. There were penguins all over my room. And I had this like weird, creepy obsession with Beethoven. I don't even mean that cool dog. I mean like big dog, the composer. It's like, well, all the other girls my age were like starting to think about maybe wanting to make out with a guy in a closet. It's like I had this fantasy that I'd be playing piano one day and Beethoven would come in the door with a ghost. It's like, hey kid, you play better than I do. Nothing sexual. I just really wanted to impress Beethoven. Didn't even have to be piano. I could have been doing my math, and you'd say, "You carried the one there." I wouldn't have thought of that. So that was me. I think this paints a pretty good picture of who I was, right? Yeah. I really wasn't a slut, but still, my mom would like freak out even if I like went into my room by myself and closed the door. She'd like come in and be like, "What are you doing in here?" I'd be like, just drawing pictures of sea otters with Beatles haircuts, playing guitar. She'd be like, my daughter's such fucked up shit. So when I got into high school, one of my best friends was this girl named Kayla, and she was hot and she was black. So my mom automatically assumed that she was into some fucked up shit. So every time I'd go over to her house, my mom would be like, what are you two doing over there anyway? And I'd honestly tell her, like, we're watching Dark Crystal and playing with her pet lizard. And my mom would, like, freak out. And then when Lord of the Rings came out, it was, like, a huge deal for Kayla and I. We went and saw it together for the first time. We were like, holy shit, this is the best thing that has ever happened. We gotta come back. And we did. We went back, like, 2 or 3 times a week for a month. Lord of the Rings over and over again. And my mom, of course, was super suspicious. She's like, what are you guys doing? You're not going to see Lord of the Rings. I don't believe that. And I was like, no, seriously, Mom. We've seen Lord of the Rings 8 times, and we're seeing it again tonight. We're seeing it 9 times. That's our goal. We're doing it. She's like, all right, well, don't put your popcorn buckets next to each other. It looks like tits. It was an idea. It was actually my Lord of the Rings obsession that led to me getting my first real boyfriend. His name was Donnie, and he was a kid in my school who looked exactly like Samwise Gamgee. And I saw him in the hallway, and I was like, dude, I gotta have him. So I was super creepy. I, like, sought him out. Like, I found out what his name was, who his friends were. I found out he was valedictorian. I was like, dude, doesn't get any harder than that. So I approached him one day. At this point, I had braces, so things were really looking up for me. Therefore, down for my mom. So I went up to him and I said, hello, Donnie. My name's Meredith Stepien, and I think you're very attractive, and I think that maybe we should explore the options of dating each other. I was like, yes, Meredith, I've heard through the grapevine that you've been asking about me, and I gladly accept your offer of courtship. So, that was it. We fell in love right there. So obviously my mom shit her pants, and then she set all these intense rules up for me hanging out with Donnie. And one of those rules was that I could ride in Donnie's car with him only if there was another person in the car. I was not allowed to ride in Donnie's car alone with him. And it's like, at the time, I was like, that doesn't make any sense, Mom. It's like, he's not going to drive any safer with one other person in the car. In fact, you know, statistics show otherwise, so I don't understand what you're saying. But now when I think back on it, it's like, dude, my mom, the only thing I can think of is, my mom didn't want me riding in a car alone with him because she didn't want me to give him roadhead every time we were close to him. It's like, what the fuck, Bob? What did you think I was? Could you honestly see me and Donnie together? Could you imagine me getting in Donnie's car and be like, all right, Donnie, we have approximately 10 minutes until we arrive at Captain Frosty's. Why don't you, I think that should be enough time. Why don't you go ahead and get that dick out? I realize we're in broad daylight, but not to worry, I've purchased 2 cloaks. They are exact replicas of the ones worn by the Hobbits on their journey to Mordor. So go ahead and put this on, I'll put mine on. Our identities will remain unknown. Go ahead and get that dick out. You know, now that I'm 25 years old and I am sexually active, it's like I've learned a lot from my mom, so... This is for my two guys up. Got it, girl. Alright guys, you've been a great audience. If anyone can give me a ride home,
Isn't she?